Hey, what's up? It's marketalchemist.camp, where we learn Elixir and Phoenix by building things. Today, I'm not going to do anything with Phoenix, though. I'm just going to continue working on this premium Absinthe GraphQL series. I'm not showing my picture right now because I just want to test and see if I get better quality on a stream if I don't have my camera running. Because as I've mentioned before, my Mac Mini 2018, even though I got the 6-core version, is pretty weak for streaming and anything graphics related because Apple hates NVIDIA or something like that. But anyway, this was the state of the app last time. Oh, I don't have it running. Let me do that. So just clear that and mix Phoenix server, mix Phoenix dot server. Actually, IEX. Let's have this going interactively. Okay, so I've finished setting up a bunch of different kinds of queries last time. Let's see if we IX dash S mix Phoenix dot server. I finished setting up a number of different queries last time. They were basically to show some new, or to show how to make new scalar types. So date is not something that's built into Absinthe. We just added it ourselves. And similarly, this cardinal direction type that the random direction query uses was also something we created ourselves. That's an enum type. So this time, there are a couple things I want to do. I want to get to, let's see, I want to teach mutations fairly soon. But in order to do mutations, which would be, updates and creates, we'll need to have input types or input objects, I should say, in our schema. I haven't covered that yet. So I think the easiest way to do this would be first do input objects, then do mutations in a later video. But there's still some other things like I don't really have enough in the schema in order to do an input type. I mean, all we have here are authors and books, and they're both extremely simple schemas. We go to author.ex. It's just the a bio text field, I believe I added. Yeah. And then birthplace and name. And we go to books. I believe that's even similar or even simpler. Just title and year and then an author ID. So let me pull up my notes. Got books and authors added. User, I may want to hold off on. There's a lot of, I could go either way because it would be nice to add recommendations. Okay, so I think what I'll do is, at the very least, I'll add genres and book genres in this next tutorial that I'm prepping. And then we can do more complicated searches for the books, like find books which contain a certain genre or which are tagged with a certain genre, or maybe only books that are in a series. Now, put off series. I think we'll go books and genres, maybe recommendations and users as well. And I would just kind of hurry through the user part. So, first thing to do would be just the context functions, which I've already written. So you don't want the counts one. So, or just the context generators, I should say. So we'll go through this step by step. So if we run mix Phoenix gen context content genre genres name, that'll create a new table called genres. We'll have a new ecto schema called genre. And since this content context already exists, we'll have a pop-up saying, hey, do you really want to add on to it? Yes, basically, this is just a Unix utility that endlessly outputs yes. So it'll answer yes to all the confirmations. And then same deal here, except we're adding book genre, which is just the join table for book ID and genre ID. So I think I'll just paste these two in right now, unshrink them. Is that what they were? There we go. And we'll just do this in another tab. So oh, I had a mistake. So references genre given to generator. The supported types are, oh, okay. So references colon genre. A typo in here. Okay, so we've added those two. And do we need to add anything to the router? No, we don't, because I just added to the context and there's no front end. So okay. So now let's tab back over and try creating a few and go to the running app. So we create a book, or if we create a genre, that's just going to be a title and nothing else. I think this is simple enough. We could just do it through Absinthe instead of through the terminal. And that'll be more interesting and more in line with the tutorial. So, except I haven't covered mutations yet. So I will definitely create it from the terminal or from the seeds. Probably, actually, yeah. Let's do it in the terminal first, then put it in the seeds if it's working. So content dot create genre. This is literally just going to be the title. So title, what genres do we need? We need nonfiction. Content is not available. Oh, do we need an IEX.exs? I thought I already created that. Maybe that was just for the other project that I'm teaching. It was. All right, let's just add that right now. IEX.exs. And we'll always we'll always alias bookworm dot content. And actually, let's also grab the repo. So I'll be making use of that all the time as well. And import ecto.query. Okay, restart IEX. Now we should have access to content. So we'll create a genre of nonfiction. Content is not available. What? Oh, I misnamed the title, or I misnamed the file here. This should be .iex.exs. Now we should have access to content. Oh, except I didn't migrate the database yet. Ecto.migrate, and let me just check the new schemas just to be safe. Maybe some other things we have to change. Author is old. Genre is a new one. Okay, field name string. That all looks totally fine. I'm not gonna put it. Yeah. Book. I haven't made the association yet, which is intentional. Book ID, genre ID. Let's also cast and require both of those. So book ID and genre ID. Okay. And do I need to set up the references? Not really. Not. I don't think I'm going to be loading up book genres and then looking to get to the book through the book genre. Okay. So let's check the migrations as well that I just ran. That's fine. Book genre, that's fine as well. Yeah, shoot, I do need to rerun those because the book genre should have a unique index on the combination of a book ID and a genre ID. For example, uh, you could classify any given book with many genres, and obviously every single genre can be associated with many books, but you can't classify the same book with the same genre twice. Like we can't say that like The Wizard of Oz is doubly children's fiction. So we'll create a unique index for book genre, and this will be on the combination of book ID and genre ID. And while we're at it, let's look at these on deletes. On delete nothing. I think if we delete a book or a genre, all those associations should be gone. So delete all. Okay. Mix ecto.rollback. And we'll remigrate it. Relation book does not exist. Book ID references books. References genres. Yeah, those have to be plural. So this should be plural there and there. Book genres. That's good. Unrelation. Okay. Table names are always plural. All right, there we go. So it's migrated, and we'll just fire up the server again. Mix server, and then we should be able to add what's wrong with my IE.IEX invalid for import expected ecto dot. Let's look at the one I have for Alchemist Camp. Alchemist Camp. Actually, that's in campsite. .iex.exs. Query should have been capitalized. Okay. And just fire up IEX one more time. And now we're going to add a book genre, nonfiction. Name can't be blank. The genres have names, not titles. And let's add children's literature, or just children. And what else? Fantasy. Mystery. Romance. Horror. And that's enough for now. So now that we've done that, we should be able to create a schema for it and query them. So we'll go back to our schema. And we've got a whole bunch of queries already made for books and for authors. Just do the same basic thing here for getting a single one. Actually, we'll do it for all of them. And instead of book, this will be a genre. Genre. And all genres. Oops, okay. Genre list is a list of genre. Same thing. And person who writes books. Okay, so we've now created the queries, but we haven't created the object. So we'll just copy this as well. And genre, a category of book. They have an ID. They have a name, and that's it. Okay, let's give it a shot. See if we can query it. Do we see them in the docs? Genre, yes we do. Genre list. So now we'll just query the genre list. And we'll get the names of all of them. Excellent. Okay, so we've added genres, and we also added the join table for genres and books. Let's make the logic for that to work as well. So we'll go to, so you'll have to change both genre and book here. So this is going to have a many-to-many relationship with, let's see, the name is just books. bookworm.content.book, and don't think we join through. Yeah, okay. Join through book genres, which should just be the default. I thought that was. Okay, so we've now established the relationship going one way. Let's recompile. And let's just get all the genre, or we'll just get a genre. So the first genre equals content dot get genre 1. Okay, and we see there is an unloaded association books repo.preload books. So there are no books with that genre, which is correct because we haven't associated anything with that. Nonfiction. I don't even have any nonfiction books in the database. Let me list the books. Content dot list books. So we have A Wrinkle in Time, and we have The Wizard of Oz. So what were the genres again? So yeah, these are both children's books. So we'll say, actually, let's get the name and the ID both. So that's the second genre. So we'll associate both of the books with genre number 2. So that will be content dot create book genre, and the book ID 1 will be associated with genre ID 2, and book ID 2 is also children's book. So now when we grab the first book, that entry is the same as it was, but when we preload, or when we grab the first genre, oh, actually, I don't care about the first genre. Let's get the second genre. Let's call it children's books. Okay. Then children's books, repo.preload books. There we go. Okay, so we've got the many-to-many set up and working correctly in one direction. Next thing to do is just make it go the other way as well. So we'll go to our books. You know what? And I don't like making this line that long. What I prefer to do is alias that, and then in here we'll just say book. Makes it a little bit more readable, at least to me. Now we'll go to book and do the same deal. So alias bookworm.content.genre, and already belongs to an author. It also has a many-to-many relationship with genres, and that's going to be genre. Do not want all of that. And join through book genres. Okay. So now we should be able to get the second genre. So content dot get genre number 2, and then preload all the books. That works. So the next step is we want to be able to do the same thing in here. So we want to be able to say, query for a specific book, like say we'll get, or say we get genre 2, and it has a name. That's all we care about. Maybe we want to get the list of all associated books that it comes with as well, and get the names or get the titles of those books. That doesn't work because we don't have the association created yet. Looking at our genre, it just has a name and an ID. Even though the database knows more than that, we haven't shared that with our Absinthe schema. It's all right. I'll just take a quick stab at it. I think can just kind of YOLO the way through. Since this isn't actually a screencast, this is just a live stream where I'm prepping it. I don't feel too bad about it. Yeah, we'll just add a list of to the genre and to the author. And I believe this will cause an n+1 query, but I'll just point that out in the screencast and mention that I'll be going over data loader later. So in author, we have a list of books. Don't think we need any association between authors and genres. Books, we should have a list of genres. So field genres, and that'll be list of genre. Okay. And I expect this will not actually work yet, because what's going to happen is it's going to have the correct field there, but it won't be loaded from the database yet. So refresh, genre, books, title null. Yeah, it's null, and that's because we're not doing the preload. So we'll just go to our content file and then search for list books. There we go. And instead of just preloading the author, we'll preload the author and the genre, or genres. That's it. It's many to many. And then we'll find list genres. And we'll preload. Actually, we can just do that in the same line. That's fine. Repo.preload books. Okay. And what I expect this will do is it will find, actually, this one will be okay. It'll just find genre number 2 and preload all the books. But if we were doing a list all, well, I'll actually look at the database query going by in the terminal in a minute. So we've just recompiled, and now, why is that null? Because that's get, that's a single book. So it's got to be, yeah, we've got to fix this on both. So that's going to be author and genre both. And get genre. Repo.preload books. Okay, so now, even if we're just getting a single genre, we should be able to do it. Okay, so now we get all the books, and we should be able to do something really crazy like get the genre of those books, or the genres that those books are associated with, which is crazy when they're only associated with one, but Why not? Genre name, and it's null at the second level. Do I think it's possible to learn Elixir as a first programming language? I do think so, actually. If you go to my YouTube channel or to my site, Alchemist Camp /episodes, and go way down to the bottom, uh, the first lessons don't assume that you know too much. They, I wasn't I wasn't specifically aiming them at someone who hasn't programmed at all, though. So actually, even that might be a little bit hard. But there are some other resources that are pretty useful. I believe. Oh, what was the name of Joy of Elixir? I think. Now I haven't gone through this one myself. I believe this one. Yeah, this one is aimed at absolute beginners, and it looks like that is free to read online. So if you want to give it a try yourself, I would suggest both this and of my own stuff. Like literally, just go all the way back to lesson one. My screencasting wasn't quite as good then as it is now, so there are a few of these where the text is a bit small, but it really does build up from zero elixir. This book will probably help you a lot, though, if you haven't programmed at all. One thing I would say though is you might. Um, I think Elixir it's an easy language to learn. The hardest thing though is just not as many people know it because it's fairly new and it's a little bit niche. So my general advice, if you're just learning a programming language, or if you're just learning to program the first time, is just learn whatever you have a friend that can help you with. That's that's like really the most important thing. For me, I got started off with just a WordPress blog, and then messing with the CSS on the blog, and then gradually learning a little bit of HTML and PHP, and then eventually JavaScript, and then after Congregate made a tutorial for Flash games, I got sucked into that, and that was pretty much enough to get me like totally into programming. Um, let's see here, genres. Oh, genre list. Name. All right. And for each of those, we'll get the associated books. That seems all right. We can't go another level. That's just because of the way, um, just because we haven't set up anything to handle that logic. But I don't think that's a problem for this app or for this tutorial at this point in it. So let me see what else we can add. Yeah, genres should not work. Yeah, just two levels. Yeah, so I think covering all of that is good for the tutorial. I'm kind of waffling on, do I want to have books have titles and genres have names? So I stumbled over that a couple of times. Yeah, it's probably okay. So that, I think that's enough. That's probably enough for a whole episode. Let me just do a quick check with Git and see how much has changed. Well, that's from generators. Maybe just check the schema. Yeah, that'll do it. So let's see. I think we'll just make a new branch for this. B4 app 5. Okay, so I think that's really all I wanted to get done here. I may get back on in an hour or so and work on Phoenix Igniter, but I'm still undecided on that. So thank you for watching, and I will see all of you later.